G'day, Dan and Josh here from the Acoustic Centre. Joshy, we love Martin guitars. We love a new model. Here we have exactly that with the 01228 Modern Deluxe from Martin. First one we've seen. What are your first impressions of this little beauty?
Well, I just got to take a sidestep. I get accused of loving guitars too much.
That's
Every
true.
guitar, it's just like I love dogs, all of them. Every shape and size. Same with guitars. But I will say that a parlor-sized guitar, particularly an O, is my favourite guitar to spend extended periods of time with, in your own, when you're sitting at home at night playing for many hours. My main guitar is this size and sitting at home.
Isn't it nice to have a little O on here on our little show in the undisclosed tone room? It's the first one we've had.
Yeah, incredible.
It's an amazing story, the Modern Deluxe series from Martin. It's a line of guitars where they take everything that traditionalists love about Martin guitars, the shapes, the sounds, the timbers, and they fuse it they build them with some of the most modern, cutting-edge building techniques in guitar manufacturing today.
That's right. And I say exactly the same thing to anyone who wants us to describe it to them. It's the most modern guitar Martin make, but it's the closest in tone to an authentic, in my opinion.
Sure. So some of the things that make this guitar really interesting, just with the basics first, we've got a VTS Sitka top, so it's an aged Sitka top.
Yep, torrefied. Yep.
Indian rosewood back and sides. The binding is highly figured European maple, beautiful.
Can I just say volute? Because I like to say volute.
Yeah, and there it is.
There it is.
Lovely mahogany neck. Under the hood, Adirondack bracing, torrefied as well, and some very interesting stuff happening around here, mate.
Yes. Well, speaking of this area, going back to the bracing, it's glued together with hide glue as well. So, no loss of vibrational energy from the strings, that's for sure. We've got the classic small footprint low mass bridge, which is a pyramid style bridge, which is, vintage correct from back in the day. So very light, less mass, more movement you get in the top. That's what's going on with that kind of bridge. Okay, but it is a traditional bridge. Underneath this bridge, the bridge plate is carbon fiber. So why would they use carbon fiber? Lightweight, but structurally sound. So a strong but light bridge. So therefore, lots of movement in that bridge, no dampening of the string energy. You've also got liquid metal bridge pins. Liquid metal bridge pins. So deluxe pins, as they state, are liquid metal, and they give more resonance to an instrument. So if a guitar is a great sounding guitar already, this will just lift it that bit more.
They do work. We've tested them. They do work.
We've tested them. It might sound like snake oil, but it's true.
Yeah.
It actually works.
Anything you can do to get that extra 5%.
It's true.
With a 1 13/16 nut width, basically the widest nut that Martin do at the moment, it's a fingerstyle player's dream, this guitar.
That's right.
Can we have another little taste with the fingers before we go on?
That sounds amazing. I love how a parlor guitar has that kind of pokey mid-range, but it's boxy in the right way.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a bad sound. It's just it's a very focused sound. And the resonance, it just rings and rings, this guitar. One other thing we haven't mentioned, which is just something for the guitar nerd in all of us, is that they use a thinner and more lightweight truss rod in this guitar. So adjustment is with a different kind of truss rod key. But again, it's all about mass and structural integrity of an instrument. So if you can make it light, the more resonance you're going to have, and this certainly is very resonant. Just rings and rings.
Give us a bit more with the pick while you've got it.
And that clarity too, and definition, and the notes, and it's amazing.
How does that neck feel? Because I'll tell you something about that neck.
All right,
it's
the neck
asymmetrical.
I like that word.
It's an asymmetrical
So
neck.
explain that.
Well, as the deepest point of the neck is not always in the dead centre. It
Right.
moves. It changes to match the comfort of your hand as you
Right,
go, as you
right,
go
right.
up the
Well,
neck.
I didn't know that. I just knew it felt really good. So that's interesting. You should say that. It was kind of like I was like, interesting. But the other thing I'd observe, I read that this is the performance taper as well, and what that means is it's a parlor guitar vintage feel, but it doesn't get deeper. And it's not a very steep kind of V shape, if you
Yeah.
want to put it that way. So
Yeah.
very comfy neck, same depth all the way to here. So it's a dream guitar to play, really, because it's got the best. Oh, it's Modern Deluxe. It's exactly in the title. It sounds like an old guitar, or the resonance of a like a, the best that Martin can produce in the Authentic series. But it plays with a wide neck, but nice and flat. So it's not difficult to play. Incredible.
Phenomenal guitar, Joshy, and dressed up beautifully with an abalone logo here, gold butterbean tuners, gold frets, interesting as well. It's an absolute stunner. It's great to have it. Thanks for talking us through it.
All right, thank you.
Take us out with a few chords. It's gorgeous.
The ringing.